Hey everybody, Rob here at Final Third Cigar,
And I'm Isaiah.
and we're doing today's Friday pairing.
So we've got the Crown Heads Las Calaveras 2022 edition. We just got these in this week, and this is the Lonsdale size.
Yeah, and we're going to pair that today with A&W root beer. I'm doing zero sugar.
Well, and I actually have a Bard. So
Oh, yeah.
this is just general root
Just
beer
root
pairing.
So we're both doing root beer today.
Yeah.
Thought we'd give that a shot with the this Las Calaveras cigar. It's got a Nicaraguan Corojo wrapper with all Nicaraguan binder and filler. It's got some special notes in there we thought would go really nice with the root beer, so that's what we're going to go with today.
Absolutely.
So we chose the Lonsdale mainly because we love the size.
Yeah, small ring gauge, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't got out and got some of these Las Calaveras for this year, you might get out soon because they're going to be gone quickly. We got several boxes and we're down pretty low right now. So you might want to get in here if you're in our area.
Oh, yeah.
Grab some. We have a few sample boxes left. The sample box comes with a Toro, Robusto, the Lonsdale, and then one Lancero, which you can only get in the sample box.
Yeah, and that Lancero, I smoked it yesterday. It is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I haven't smoked one yet. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to buy another sample box just because I want another Lancero.
Now, he might be buying some of the last one, so get in.
So right now on this, it's almost like Raisin Bran cereal.
Yeah, it's like a bran hay kind of thing. Not a lot of sweetness, but there's a little bit there.
Yeah.
And then on the tongue, there's kind of a little bit of almost like a salt or salty pepper or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just a little bit on the tongue. But this is a brand new fresh palate today. I haven't had anything at all today. So
Yeah.
let's crack open the root beer. On the nose, I'm getting a lot of the sassafras root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of sweetness.
Love root beer. Root beer and cream soda are two of my favorite sodas to drink with a cigar.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, I'm ready to get this bad boy lit up.
Yeah, the root beer just made the cold draw so much sweeter.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
That's
Probably need to turn my lighter up since I forgot to turn that up.
So we had a crazy busy day at the shop yesterday. It was, I don't know, by 3 o'clock we were already doing what we like to have made on a Saturday, and then it just kept going.
Yeah, we had a band out here at 6 o'clock, and they did great, and we had a lot of regulars in here, a lot of new people. It was a solid day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And an absolutely beautiful day too with the weather.
It was a blast to see Nick Miller from the Pulpit Podcast come in. We did not expect to see him here, but he showed up and surprised us. And
Yeah.
him and his father Jim came in, and that was kind of fun talking with them.
Yeah, they do go to a lot of races here in Indianapolis, and Nick being just outside of St. Louis, it's a little bit of a haul for him, but that's something him and his dad like to do is go to a lot of the races. And this weekend was the Brickyard race, which I can't remember what it's called now. It's something new.
Verizon 200, I think he said.
That's it. So they went ahead and they were going to the races this weekend, and he got to stop in here and hang out Final Third and see the patio, and it's a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the palate for me with this cigar, after I've had a drink of root beer, it almost gets salty.
I haven't had a drink yet, but
Okay.
the initial retrohale right off the light, it when you blow it out, you feel like it's going to get like a pepper bomb.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It's kind of like white pepper. to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, more of a white pepper. But it's like as soon as I blow it out, I'm waiting for that, that kind of sinus blowout hit, and it doesn't quite get there. It's really good.
Leathery, slight saltiness on the palate for me. And on the retrohale, it's a white pepper.
Yeah, definitely with the root beer, it went really strong leather.
Yeah.
A little bit of earthiness, and I can see what you're saying by the white pepper, especially through the nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually a pretty solid pairing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Who would have guessed?
No, root beer
I
with
smoked
cigars.
4 of these already.
I know you have.
Every size.
I smoked 2.
Yeah.
I did smoke. The only one I wasn't a huge fan of, and it wasn't because it didn't smoke great.
The Toro.
Was a Toro. It was a little bit bigger than a traditional Toro, and it's just it gets a little bit bigger than what my wheelhouse usually is. Now, I will say one thing. I did smoke the Aladino Cameroon Gordo, and that was absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And I was shocked because I don't like Gordos.
Yeah, I haven't smoked that one yet, so I am.
It's a good cigar.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I haven't smoked that Queen's Perfecto yet either. Actually,
That's a great one too. Yeah,
catch up.
I'm digging this. I'll tell you what. I've been seeing a lot of people posting their older releases of the Las Calaveras, and we've talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
These are just so fresh and young that it's hard to make a determination on where this is going to fall in the tier of all the other ones.
Yeah.
Really loved last year's, the 2021.
Oh, yeah.
2019, fantastic. I believe I smoked one of the 2014s a buddy of mine gave me, but I honestly cannot remember which year it was. I think this cigar is really good. I think it's going to be fantastic in a few months when it's got some age on it.
Oh, yeah. I have smoked every Las Calaveras from 2016 on. I just enjoy crowned heads. I think it's a fine stick now, but like in 6 months, it's going to be stellar.
I think so too. Well, we were down last year. We went down to Starlight, and Isaiah and I went over to the Office Cigar Lounge down in, what town was that in?
I don't even know. I'll look it up.
It was only like 10 minutes south of Starlight, almost Louisville, but it's still in Indiana.
Yeah.
And by the way, those boys just brought in Aladino too, and they're killing it with Aladino. That's great. But we were in there, and they had, I think, didn't they have 3 different years of the Las Calaveras we were able to pick up?
Yeah, because I got
2018, 2019, and 21.
I think so.
You had the yellow, red, and
green.
Was it the green band?
I think the green band.
It may have been the green band.
No, purple. They had the purple.
Purple. That's the 3. So that was kind of cool.
I think purple was 21.
Which I was kind of shocked about because I know here they're going to all be gone.
Yeah. So they're in Floyd Knobs, Indiana.
Knobs, yeah.
And honestly, it's a great shop. They don't have liquor, but their outside seating area is wonderful. Their humidor is stocked. And they had a lot of special release things that
they did
kind of sat around. So
and it could just be maybe the area that they're at. Maybe people smoke more traditional.
Could be,
stuff
but
they don't really venture out, or maybe they set some stuff back special and kind of lay it out every once in a while.
Could be, but yeah, Rob and I picked up Las Calaveras. I also know that like the Tatuaje Monster series, which normally sells out like crazy because
they still had those. That's where I got them.
Yeah, they had them there. So I don't know. Whenever you're traveling, go support other shops. See what good stuff you can find.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and the good thing about it is, I mean, in this industry, I'll put it at about 98% of all people are really awesome people.
Yeah.
You're going to fall into some of those that are kind of douchey or whatever you want to say.
But hey.
But that happens in everything.
Even if the guy running the cash register is douchey, if he's got good sticks at a decent price, I'm in.
Absolutely. And look at this thing. How well you can see it, but the burn is absolutely perfect on this thing. I was really glad because when we first got these, and I know it's just because they were so young and pushed out, and everyone's getting them. They're shipping them on UPS trucks, and UPS trucks are 150 degrees and all the humidity.
Yeah,
they came in. They were really spongy and soft.
Were swollen.
But it only took maybe 3 or 4 days to kind of acclimate.
Yeah,
and they're finally starting to smoke really good right now. I think that first one I smoked, it tasted great, but it had a funky little burn going.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see these things coming out just the way they should. Yeah, the pepper's building a little bit in the nose.
It is.
Which I love. This thing, so it's a medium full I'm trying to think when I smoked it before. I think it leans towards medium at the end a little bit more and starts off a little bit more full, which is kind of unique. Usually it's the other way around.
Yep. Yeah, so the funny thing on this Las Calaveras is the pepper is there, but it's so light. I think it's all coming from the wrapper leaf, because when I smoked the Toro last night, it was undetectable on there. Yeah. But in the Robusto and the Lonsdale and the Lancero, it was there and present. And honestly, the Lonsdale and the Lancero are my favorite sizes so far. But small ring gauge guys.
I like I haven't had the Lancero. I can't wait to smoke one of those.
Yeah.
But this one here, fantastic.
I just let this go out on me.
Oh, dear Lord.
Talking too long.
Need a little help learning how to smoke
there's
cigars?
there's still a cherry in there, but sorry,
what she said.
Sorry, Crown Heads, if you're watching this, which you're probably not. Nobody cares about this except for Scott Johnston. Shout out to Scott Johnson.
Scott.
Scotty, baby.
Scotty. Every time you say Scott Johnston, we have to drink. Scott Johnston, drink.
Cheers to you.
Cheers, John. Yeah. Cheers, Scott.
To the men.
So we have hats.
Yes, we just got those in this week.
We just got our hats in. This is the Flex Fit. And then we have a couple of nice little mesh backs, black with gray mesh back and gray with white mesh back. Mm-hmm. So if you need a hat and want to support the shop, come on in.
Absolutely.
We got you covered.
Yeah.
We even sold 2 sweatshirts this weekend.
We did. It's a little hot for sweatshirts.
It is, but you know.
There we go.
Although last night, Lisa and I were sitting out on the patio about midnight, and it was getting chilly. It was getting a little chilly out there. Lisa turned the fans off, and I'm like, dang.
Yeah. Gonna have to get your heaters out.
Refuse.
You refuse.
Too early.
Too
I
early.
am putting the lights up today, though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why they were out.
Yeah, it's time to put those up since, you know, we officially close at 9. We don't always get out of here by 9, but up until about the last week or so, it was still plenty daylight, 9, 9:30, almost 10. Yeah, it's getting a little bit darker right at 9 o'clock now, so time on that slow fade to winter.
Oh, yeah. So last night I saw you post that you were smoking a Padron.
Yeah.
And drinking Stag Junior.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Very, very tasty.
It was a very expensive smoking experience. Mm-hmm. All the way around.
Well, the 64 is not the real expensive one.
Okay.
The 26 is the expensive one of their regular line. Obviously, the anniversary series, some of those are a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
But now I got a couple of 64s and a 26 yesterday from a buddy that came in, did a little trading. So I've been decided to grab a 64 last night. But yeah, and my Stag. Love that Stag. We're almost out of that bottle.
Not we. It's Rob's personal bottle. It's not a shop bottle. So don't come in asking.
That is very true. It is our personal, although I do share, but it is my personal.
Yeah. He shares if you sweet talk him and buy him nice things. He's easy to please.
True, that is true. By the way,
just bring him a Padron 26 and he will share a pour of Stag with you.
Anything you want in the back, buddy. Anything you want.
No, there's nothing in the back.
No, there's not. Nothing.
No bottles that exist.
No.
Past what's on the bar and what's in our inventory.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Do we even have a back? I don't know.
No, It's just a bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's on the side. Yeah. By the way, not that he'll probably hear this, but if he does, shout out to my cousin Mark. He brought us a bottle in yesterday from
Bear Wallow
Gnawbone cask strength.
Yeah, they're bourbon.
It was freaking amazing.
Fantastic.
I was completely shocked because I've had the Gnawbone like low proof and I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
And hadn't really heard much since then. And oh my gosh, we opened that bottle and we're like both shocked. It was amazing.
And the crazy part about it is it's only, what'd you say, 2 years?
2 year, and it was
age
dark,
statement.
and it was flavor was great on it. I mean, the strength level was there, but it didn't taste like it was hot. It was just really good.
Yeah, it's crazy. That is an
So that's one
absolutely fantastic bottle.
That's definitely one I would love to go down and do a barrel pick if we could get a 4-year version of that cask strength.
You think if they're putting out 2 years in their gift shop, they're going to have a 4-year for Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge?
You never know.
In Ingalls, Indiana, 180 East Broadway.
They might.
FinalThirdCigar.com.
They might. You never know. Somebody's got to make the bucks for them.
Yeah, there's no way. But that is definitely an Indiana distillery to watch.
I agree.
But that kind of makes it so that both of the distilleries in Brown County are putting out good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any more, but Hard Truth and Bear Wallow, solid.
Yeah. Yeah, that new sweet mash rye from Hard Truth is, I think, the best thing they've ever put out.
Oh,
And that's
I'd agree.
The recent release, and
I would agree.
They're killing it. So
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago's pairing.
that's one thing. Yeah, you hear people talk about, oh, Indiana distilleries. They're nothing special. I'm like, think about it. We got Starlight, Hard Truth, Bear Wallow, Old 55,
MGP.
which everybody knows. I mean,
Yeah.
those right there alone. Let alone there's all these small little niche distilleries in almost every town. That are making great juice right now, and it's like, man, it's a sleeper. It's a sleeper around here, and I think you're going to start seeing some awards go to some of these distilleries.
Oh, it already is.
Well,
They
Starlight's
already
been getting golds like crazy.
And the beautiful thing about it is I think more people are going to be moving their distilling to Indiana from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sazerac brand is building warehouses on the Indiana side just because Indiana does not have a resting barrel tax.
Yeah.
In Kentucky, every single barrel of whiskey that you have aging is taxed every year.
Yeah, so you aging something 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
There's a reason why your bottles are going to be $150 to $200 a piece.
Yeah, you got taxed on that.
Yep.
Just crazy. But
They're already starting to pop up on the north side of Kentucky, on the north side of the Ohio River in Indiana.
Yep.
They're popping up all over the place down there.
Oh, yeah.
In all honesty, that'd be it's going to be a good revenue stream for the state of Indiana, too, having all those properties coming in there. And obviously, they still have to pay the taxes, but it may not be a resting tax every year, but they'll still be paying taxes on that property and stuff. And that's more money for our state to do stuff with.
Yeah, which is great.
Or just for the state to line their pockets, whichever it takes.
Well, at least we're not as bad as Illinois.
Look at that. Look at that ash.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Trying to slow down because I feel like I'm over smoking it a little bit, and it's just so good. This is definitely the best one I've had so far, flavor-wise, burning, everything. So I think we're finally in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
On it being resting in the humidor,
Yeah.
and that comes to a good point too. So I had a shop owner come in one day, and he was asking me some questions about our setup here. And I always get people asking me questions about humidity all the time. And, his humidity in his humidor was way higher than it should have been. He asked me what ours was. And I said, it's, 65, 66 is where I usually keep it. And, that's a really, in the summertime, like Indiana, or really pretty much anywhere, but in Indiana especially, you want to keep your humidity level down in the mid to even low 60s.
Yeah.
Because once you pull it out and you take it outside and you're smoking or wherever you're smoking it, the humidity level's up and it's going to go up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to slowly creep in your cigar as you're smoking it or before you smoke it. So if you start in the low to mid 60s, it may get to the mid to upper 60s.
Yeah.
But it's not going to get over 70 where it's almost impossible to keep lit.
Yeah.
So the whole 70-70 rule it's BS. 70-70 is fine in the winter because it's going to come down being less humid. But I don't even keep my humidity up to 70 even in the winter. I'm usually in the upper 60s in the winter. Yeah. So that's just a bit of advice for anybody.
I put Bovita 65s in my humidor, and right now it's at this morning when I looked at it, it's at 67%, which is
perfect,
higher than I like it to be, but it works. Yeah. I always have issues in the summer though. Just how it goes, trying to trying to manage a cooler door that's always pulling in air and all that deal. So
Exactly, yeah.
I actually ended up unplugging it and doing what you said, taping up the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cooler at that point, so you might as well do it. I mean, I know in the winter with that cooler door, that thing, I had to put 72s in there just to keep it up in the mid-60s. So you may be in the same boat.
Well, I also have a house humidifier. So they keeps my house regulated at like 50% relative humidity all the time.
Oh, then you may not have problems in the winter then. Gosh, I don't want to tap that ash.
You normally do.
I know I do. What's up with that?
What is up with that?
What is up with that?
Well,
so we had like we were talking about earlier, we had a great day yesterday, and we had Dream Maker band in here, and it was a blast. I mean, it's one of our music events. We're definitely gonna have more music events coming up. Coming up here in another week and a half, Holly from Crown Cigars is going to be in here.
Absolutely.
So Wednesday night, and she's going to be in here, just basically a meet and greet. We have 3 of her cigars in here. You get to come in and smoke and meet her. If you're on Instagram, you've probably seen her on there. She's been posting for years, and she has a fantastic palette, and she's created great cigars. It's cigar.beauty, I believe it is, on Instagram, and she's just a really awesome human being. If you want to come by and meet her, she's also going to be down at the Boutique Cigar Festival down in Cedar Creek in Martinsville that following weekend. But she wanted to come in here and support us, and we become really good friends, and we really love to have her in here. So that one's coming up. I got to get the date exact. I think it's October the 8th. We got Mickey Pegg coming with All Saints Cigars, and they're going to be doing a tag team with Tony Katz and Fingers Malloy in here. So it's going to be a packed house.
Yeah, it will be a crazy day.
Definitely going to have a food truck and probably some other stuff going that day as well. So, so some fun stuff coming up, and I know we got a few more things that Lisa's trying to work on right now. She wanted to do another blood drive. We did a blood drive a couple months ago, and it was well received, and I think we're going to try to do a couple more of those. Yeah. There's a massive shortage right now, and we want to help out with anything we can in that regard. Absolutely. So,
well, and what better way to do it than with a cigar in your hand?
Mm-hmm. And like Lisa tells all the time, if you're a little nervous, come in here and get a little liquid courage before you head over and get your blood drawn.
Yeah, it'll help your blood draw faster.
It will. It will.
It will also take you a little bit longer.
They said that it's totally fine to have a drink before you get your blood drawn.
There you go. I've never given blood before.
I did for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I'm diabetic, and for the longest time I never was able to give blood.
Yeah.
Now they allow it, and I think it's just because they're short on blood. But I found out my blood type is A positive.
Wow. A plus.
A plus.
A plus. It's a good one.
Go big or go home, baby.
Go big or go home.
That's crazy. 53 years old, I just found out what my blood type was.
It's kind of weird. So, like, if you were in an accident and you needed blood, do you think they test your blood to figure out what you are?
I'm assuming they'd have to.
Yeah.
Or they would just use one of the universal blood donors.
But that's got to be so niche.
I don't know.
I don't know what my blood type is.
Find out.
Why not? It's for science.
Science. She blinded me with science. You even know what that is? 80s.
So Pepper's kicking up, and
is it?
the second, third for me.
We really haven't been talking much about the cigar, have we?
No.
I've been getting
Pepper's
a lot of other notes.
Yeah.
That earthiness. I'm getting almost like, and I know it's because of the pairing, but I'm getting a little bit of like the sassafras root, not just the root beer, the sweet one, but the actual like root note.
Oh yeah.
In the cigar itself.
When I smoked one yesterday, I found that too in the second, third was a sassafras note, which is why I thought about this. But yeah.
There's also
kicking up in the second, third for me.
There's also what is that? There's it's kind of You know that spice note you get on some Sumatras? There's kind of that little bit of a light spice note. Gosh, I'm trying to think if that's like a cumin or if that's no, not cumin. Cumin's more of the Mexican spice, right?
Yeah.
More like a nutmeg.
Huh.
Getting a little bit of that kind of.
I could see that
on the tongue laying there. Retro is kicking up a little bit, which I'm glad.
It's very welcome. Somebody's texting somebody. Is that your phone dinging?
It's not me because my well, it could be the iPad.
Oh, okay.
I turned off. I put it on airplane mode. Oh yeah, that pepper's kicking up. It's not salt anymore. It's pepper. It's not even white pepper. It's black pepper.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it really is that earthiness. There's a slight woodiness, but I don't think it's I wouldn't say cedar or anything like that, but it is kind of
almost like a charred oak or something.
Yeah, almost a sawdusty note for me.
Yeah.
And then leather.
Well, didn't you say you got like pine needles in this at one point?
Yeah. I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
Normally that comes at the end of the second, third, and into the final. There's just a slight herbal note that I just reminded me of pine needles. And at that rate, we should have paired it with gin. Turn it up.
Or not.
Rob loves gin. He's a connoisseur.
God. As long as there's no juniper notes in it, I'm fine.
It takes juniper to make gin.
Exactly.
So you just like vodka?
No.
You like grapefruit vodka?
I do like the citrusy gins. There was that one gin we had in here. Gosh, I'm trying to think of whose it was. It was but it was more of a cucumber note. Oh, that was Fort Hamilton.
Yeah,
that was actually really good. It definitely tasted like cucumbers.
Yeah,
and citrus.
It was weird. It that wanted to be mixed with lemonade.
Oh, it did. It was good.
But the Starlight gin is citrus forward as well.
I like it.
I was asking one time I was down there asking Andrew about how I don't know. We got on the subject of it, and he was like, "Hey, we do things a little bit redneck down here." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, on our gin, what goes in there just depends on what's been used in the cafe that week and what the Hubers have been eating, what citrus." So he said, sometimes you'll get one that has a ton of grapefruit in it because it's seasoned. Sometimes you'll get one that has a lot more of the lemon peel because that's what we're using at the in the cafe. Or
sometimes you get like a BLT note because they had BLTs that week.
No.
Oh no.
No, they don't have BLTs. Did you see Arby's put out a bourbon?
No.
I gotta find this. It's not a joke.
Arby's sauce.
Uh-uh.
They just took Arby's sauce and distilled it. Oh, that sounds absolutely disgusting. I don't even care if it's good.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh my God.
Oh no, never mind. It's curly fry flavored vodka.
Oh my gosh.
Man, who was it that put out the bourbon?
Who is
one of those other brands put out a bourbon?
That's just wrong. Stay in your lane, Arby's. Stay in your lane.
Oh no, they did. Arby's smoked bourbon.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can buy it online. I might buy a bottle just. Then we buy online.
Oh God, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yes, I'm 21 or over.
Don't do it.
Oh, $10 off
today. That means it's $150 Arby's bottle. Gosh, that is wrong, Arby's. Don't do it.
You know how
no, Arby's, we do not want you as a sponsor.
It's sold out. You know how much fun that would be to bring to a tasting?
Wait. How much fun that would be to bring to a tasting and leave it for the host?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Party time liquor.
Are there any reviews out there of it yet?
Oh my
It can't be good.
No, I don't know that it's actually been released yet.
Distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Oh my gosh. I think it's a product of Kentucky, so it's probably Heaven Hill or Bardstown Bourbon Company.
It could be good if it's somebody else doing it and they're not trying to.
It's
get out of the
Arby's.
lane.
Arby's does not have a distillery, Rob.
How do you know that? I mean, they're obviously making a ton of money. They could build a distillery. All you have to do is put a still in a room and you're good to go. Some barrels.
Oh my gosh! You really think Arby's is going to diversify and make a distillery?
They put it out. Why did they do that much? That's absolutely stupid.
Arby's, where you can get chicken salad and bourbon and.
Now that's
roast
what
beef.
they need to do if they start serving liquor at the restaurant. That's a whole different thing.
That would be a whole nother thing.
There was one. Who was the fast food restaurant?
White Castle.
White Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting to have they started adding liquor yet?
So all of the when I was in college,
Because I refuse to go there, by the way, just so you know.
I hate White Castle. I can't do it. When I was in college, all the Nashville White Castles added beer, and somehow they still all went out of business.
Well,
I was
because
back-
the whole point of White Castle is to go to sober up after you've been drinking forever. It was never about drinking while you're eating it.
Well, they thought that way.
All right. Well, you know.
Hey, just leave the dive bar, come to White Castle, and keep going.
Yeah, dive bar, White Castle.
Yeah.
Can you go?
Both
lower
the
than
food
dive
will
bar?
tear you up, though.
They will.
Tear you up.
Yeah, and don't go there on this one, okay? We had some dive bar food the other day.
Oh my
killed us.
gosh.
Let's not talk about it though.
No, we're not gonna.
Not gonna bash
was-
anybody.
It was rough. But TJ, if you listen to this, which you probably not, thank you for sharing your food with us.
But
I would ask you to not ever do that again.
we expect better next time.
Yeah. I'm expecting a steak, even some mac and cheese. You can make me Kraft, and that'll be better.
I've even taken a good pizza.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Pizza
Fried
King.
chicken.
Ooh. I've had fried chicken on the brain today. I'm probably going to have to go to Church's when I get done here.
I've had it ever since last night. We had a couple come in that she owns a food truck, and she does Southern style cooking, and we're gonna have her coming out here.
Just
Actually,
soul
we're thinking
food.
about having her set up out here, just on random Saturdays, maybe even every Saturday. Have food out here for people to come by and get
That'd
it.
be
So if you
awesome.
start seeing the food truck out here, we're gonna have some good Southern cooking in there.
Why don't we just do Food Truck Fridays?
I was thinking more Saturday for an all day thing.
Oh, okay.
Help her make a little bit more money doing
There you
that
go.
because
Yeah.
if it's just Friday, it probably won't really kick in until about 5 or 6 that night.
Yeah.
So, love to support her. I mean, it's her dream, it's her passion, and she's working another job right now because it's not taking off to the point where she could just quit her job.
Yeah.
But she's getting close and wants to do it. And if we could help her reach that dream, that would be amazing.
Heck yeah. And I imagine the food is good because we talked food. I sat there and talked food with them, and
Oh my gosh.
they told me about all the good joints.
Yeah, she was really making me hungry last night.
Yeah. So if her food is not good, I will be extremely surprised.
I will be too. You could just tell talking to her and just her looks that she is a hell of a cook.
Yeah.
And I think they are from the South, aren't they?
Yeah.
I thought they were.
Yeah.
I
I think they're from-
Mississippi. Either
Oh.
Mississippi or Louisiana, one of the two, I think.
Yeah.
And they came from cooking background down there, so it'll be coming. Just keep your eyes open for it. And we will post about it too. That's the thing too. If you want to keep up with everything going on here, just get on Instagram at Final Third Cigar
Yeah.
or the Facebook page Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, and we'll keep posting on there.
Absolutely. So I took a puff on this, and the pepper is now hitting me at the back of the tongue. It's ramping up a little more.
Yeah, the
And there's the pine needle note
we got the pine needle now.
on the retro hell.
Okay, Mike.
I'm a little bit
You're
further
just
along than
barely
you.
further than me. Not well, a little bit, not much.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes at Final Third.
Behind the scenes with Rob and Isaiah.
Scott Johnston.
Drink.
We need to have some bourbon over here to take drinks for his name.
What do you want? I'll go grab us a pour.
We should grab a pour of something else too.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you want to do? Isaiah's going to get us, some nice adult beverages.
You want to drink Final Third?
Let's do it. We're down to a couple bottles.
I haven't had this in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we the Final Third barrel pick from when we opened up. We're down to our last couple bottles of that before the new barrel release comes next week. So get in here and try it. I've got a few bottles set back for the 1 year anniversary, and I might be able to grab. Huh?
That's something we should talk
Exactly.
about a little bit more.
Yeah, so we're, I put back a couple of cases for the 1 year. I may grab a bottle out here and there and put it up here on the shelf for the rest of the year, just to have both of our barrel releases. But our barrel release this week is coming from our Starlight pick, which is a 4-year ride. It's been sitting for almost 2 years in a 80-gallon port barrel, and it is going to be a bomber. We cannot wait to get that one in here.
Yeah.
For me, it was almost a perfect pairing for a cigar.
Yeah.
You had the sweet and the spice that played perfectly,
And
balanced
it has
each
so
other
much
out.
of those rich, dark fruit notes in
It
there,
really
too.
did. And that's one thing I appreciate about Starlight. Some of these port finish releases you see are so sweet because they leave so much port in the barrel and just dump in there. Mm-hmm. Starlight dries out the barrel, and the port notes you're getting are from the actual barrel coming out of that. It's not the juice that's left in there. So you're getting the subtle notes, just the notes you want. It's still bourbon. It's not going to turn it basically to a bourbon-esque port. I think you're going to love it. Not sure the price point on it yet. I haven't got my pricing yet on it, so that's kind of scary, but we'll find out.
That is a little scary.
And honestly, if you're looking to get a bottle of it, if you're already in the Indiana Bourbon Club, you'll have an opportunity to come out for a barrel release party we're going to have here on a Sunday. I think it's the 14th. Coming up after we get the pick in.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to buy a bottle at that event or pre-buy it from Cole. But just, if you're not on the club, get on Facebook, Indiana Bourbon Club, like it, and you're a part of the club. There's nothing special to do. You'll see the releases. You'll see information. You get a chance to do barrel picks. You get a chance to go to parties, all kinds of fun stuff, meetups.
Absolutely.
It's a great club, great people. But you'll get a chance to buy a bottle of this. We've got half the barrel that's coming to the shop here for us to sell in the bar, and half the barrel that's going to the club to sell by the bottle.
Yep.
So that's coming up soon. I think you guys are going to love it.
Dude.
It's one of my favorite Starlight picks, Starlight picks I've had in a long time.
I think so, too. This cigar paired with the Final Third turns into a cherry bomb. It's like Luxardo cherries. Cherry bomb. The only music references Rob knows are from his era.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I will say I still love this pick.
Oh, it's stellar. And it sounds like the Starlight Port will be able to sit up there with the Final Third at least for a week.
Yep. At least.
Unless somebody comes in and finishes off another bottle in one sitting.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a group that come in here and finished off almost a bottle and a half actually. Yeah. It was several guys.
Oh yeah. They were
making old fashions with it, and
hey man.
that had to be good as an old fashioned.
Yeah.
I've done an old fashioned once with this, and it's good, but I love it straight up.
Got a squeaky chair today. My goodness. Man, I forgot how good this Final Third was. I haven't had this in a couple weeks.
Yeah, going from sip to smoke, it intensifies the leather.
Yeah.
That little, what you're calling a piney note, pops up a lot stronger.
Absolutely.
And definitely gets to that vegetal side of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Digging it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you got going this week?
Oh man, not a whole lot, I don't think, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend's in Florida, so it gives me a little bit of free time.
Oops.
I don't care.
She didn't listen to this?
Heck no.
You even tell her about this?
Oh yeah, she knows.
Okay.
She's like, "What are you doing Sunday afternoon?" I'm hanging out with Rob. What are you doing Sunday? Nothing. You want to hang out? No, I'm hanging out with Rob. That's not how she sounds.
No, she doesn't. She's a sweet girl.
But yeah, I need to pressure wash my house because it's nasty. So that's probably what one of my projects this week will be. But really past that, I don't know. I'm chilling, man. Normal work week, so should be good. You got anything fun going on?
Not really. We don't have a lot planned for tomorrow, so I think, shoot, I don't even know. Lisa and I have been trying to take at least a day off from being in here.
Yeah.
Today I've got a lot of stuff to do in here. So I'm not sure what she wants to do tomorrow. It's supposed to be rainy, so it won't be as much fun as it was last weekend. But
Oh, so you won't be able to go disc golfing or anything?
no, or take the Jeep out with the top off. Won't be able to do that either. So
I mean, either of those things can happen in the rain. They're just not that fun.
exactly.
You're not a real Jeeper until you drive with your top off in the rain.
Yeah, then I guess I'm not real. I don't want to clean up afterwards.
Yeah, that would be a mess.
But if I was
absolute-
going out for an event doing some stuff, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Trying to think of any other cool things happening here this weekend. We were definitely packed out yesterday.
That was a crazy day. We sold all of the rest of our protocol stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, which I'm waiting for them to get their stock back in so I can buy.
It was
all
funny.
four of
That
them.
group was like, "Man, I've never heard of them." And they normally hang out at the downtown indie spots, and I was like, "Oh yeah." Well, they make them at a pretty good place though. And he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "They make them at La Zona." He said, "Who's that?" I said, "Espinoza." He said, that's why they're good.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they're good. It's the Lawman series from Protocol. The Elliot Ness, Maduro, the Bass Reeves. The ones they were smoking with the Sir Robert Peel.
Yeah, and they were smoking both the naturals and the Maduros and loved them.
Well, they just grab one initially and smoke it, and then they came back and bought all of them that were left. The box and a half was left.
Yeah, one of the guys
Great.
because that's one of the box that we've been up there is a split box, so we'll take I think we had a Maduro box up in there, but we'll sit it on the shelf between 5 naturals and 5 Maduros just because we have a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And one guy was like, "Will you sell me that split box?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll sell you the split box. I don't care."
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's the
he
thing.
bought that, and then there were 5 more of the naturals, and the other guy, like when he watched me put them out, he said,
Yeah, get those.
"Yeah."
So that was actually, in all honesty, that was one I was getting ready to pull from our inventory just because
They hadn't
hasn't been
sold.
selling. But these guys, they're coming back and they'll buy them. So I'll definitely bring them in. So
I mean, they're great cigars.
They are.
They just weren't selling well in our humidor.
and I really like the Maduro a lot. The natural was still, it burned great.
Yeah.
It tasted fine. It
I'm
just
not a
wasn't in
huge
my
fan of a lot of naturals.
I'm not either, and that was the real reason why. But, that's the thing. It's nice about this. Your palate's going to be different than our palate, and you may like something we don't, and that's the fun of it. Like, Sumatra's a big one for me. The latest Sumatras that have come out in the darker wrapper Sumatras are great.
Yeah.
The lighter Sumatras I'm still not a fan of, and that's just me. Some people love them. We had one guy come in here and was super happy we had the Stolen Throws call to arms.
He had
bought several of them.
He had a Sumatra cigar tattooed on his arm, which I was like, "Dang, that is dedication." Yeah,
Right there, yeah.
I was like, "So you really love like earthy cigars?" He said, oh yeah, I love them." And I was like, okay, that's awesome. But yeah, it was funny. Yesterday, I sold a couple of those Imperial Jade by La Galera because there was one guy who was in here. His name's Calvin, and Calvin was like, "That says African Cameroon." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I gotta support my people," and he's probably legit because his last name starts with an N, and then there's a WIDJ something. I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but he said he loved it. So
Yeah, well, good. It's a good cigar.
Yeah.
That's another brand we just got in here in the last week or so was La Galera,
yeah,
and they're selling great.
yeah,
Really love that 1936 box press torpedo they have.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That thing was nice. Maduro.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we brought them in. We recently brought in Family by Loyalty, and we've got the Skull, the Fenrir, and the Frecky.
Yep.
Which those are all great
All three
sticks. Of course, they're Blackbird Factory stuff, so
It's going to be good.
it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only new brands we've brought in. We've brought in a little bit of the Southern Draw stuff.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, and nothing wrong with Southern Draw. I like a lot of their stuff, but it's some of the ones I've liked the most. The Rose of Sharon, fantastic Connecticut cigar.
The Desert
Rose, just a
also
tick up
great,
in strength,
yeah.
great. And then the Jacob's Ladder, which is
Oh,
kind of my favorite.
so
Southern Draw.
good.
So we brought those in. I've got some new brands that I'm bringing in. Talked to a few buddies that were out at PCA. Was talking about how great these new brands are. So I've got some samples coming in. Got a box sample come in yesterday. The company sent me an entire box for us to try.
Came in yesterday
Came
to
in
the shop
yesterday.
or to
No,
your house?
Well, to the shop, but to the post office since
Oh,
our
okay.
post office doesn't deliver here
Why?
because we live in a town of like 1,500 people. And
So people have to go to the
you have to
post
go
office for their packages?
Businesses
Oh.
do. So
Well, there are like 4 businesses here, so
something like that, yeah.
it's not a big deal.
But yeah, so I mean that one's coming in. It's a company called Freud, and this is I think this is their first cigar they've come out with. It's in a Lonsdale, which I
Oh,
love.
God bless them.
So
yeah.
that one's we're gonna be testing that one out. West Tampa Tobacco Company. They're getting some high marks from everybody. I'm waiting on some samples from them. And those will probably be a couple of them we'll bring in. Obviously, they're going to have to smoke well or we won't. But those will be a couple of them coming in.
Those are just
So I'm just excited to try some new brands that are brand new to the industry.
yeah.
Because the cool thing is, most of these brands are using, well-established factories. It's not like the local roller rolling them up and giving them to them to sell
Absolutely.
them, which can be fine too. But I'm excited to see it. I don't know enough about them, but once we get them in here, we'll probably do a pairing review with them.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
definitely let you know more about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I am too. I'm gonna wait for these Freuds to rest for a little while
yeah.
with the transit, and we'll see how they smoke. But
It's always a great feeling when we get sent samples and we're both like, "Oh my goodness." Because we get a lot that are just
dog rockets.
dog rockets. They're not great. And some of them you're like, man, if you would have let this sit another 6 months, it would probably be decent.
Yeah.
Like, you'll get great burns on everything, and it'll just taste slightly young. Like,
Yeah.
but I get it. You got to make your money back.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, this Las Calaveras,
Yeah.
it's a little young.
It is a tad young.
It tastes really good, but I can guarantee in another 3 to 6 months, this
Yeah,
is going to be
stellar.
an amazing cigar. So if you get a chance and buy a box of them, smoke one now, let it sit for a few weeks, smoke another one, and by the time you get out to 3 to 6 months, it might get to exactly where you love them, and then you can just smoke the heck out of them. But
Oh, yeah.
again, once they're gone, they're gone. I'm sure there'll be some sitting on the shelves, like we're still finding some of the older release. I think you found some of the 2021s. Was it a blend?
Blend, yeah.
Blend in
And
Indianapolis.
I know Smoker's Choice in Brownsburg has them.
Do they still have some too?
Yeah.
Which-
That's what Dave
it's
Payne
surprising.
told us.
It's kind of surprising to me that they're still around.
I just don't think Crown Heads has the hype that I have for them.
Yeah, well-
but in Nashville, when I was living there, you literally had 1 week to get Las Calaveras. That was it. They'd all get bought up.
Well, and that's the thing too. If you live here in Indiana, you kind of know this. the majority of the cigar shops stick to the big brands, the brands that everyone knows because they've got a track record of selling already, and they don't really like to go out on the limb and try something new. We're a little different. We like to bring in new stuff to introduce to our customers that they've never tried, because if we think they're that good, I know they'll smoke well for people, and it gives people a chance to expand their horizons on what cigar culture's like.
Absolutely. And the other thing is our humidor is fairly diversified, especially for the area.
Yeah.
Like, we have some things that you'll be able to find at other shops, but we have a lot of smaller brands that you won't see anywhere else in the area. Mm-hmm. Not that it couldn't change, but it's like, this is the stuff we like to smoke. This is the stuff we found to be good. So that's what's here.
Yep, exactly.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am further along than you are. I'm
Quite
definitely
a bit
into
further
the
than I am, aren't you?
final third. Yeah. FinalThirdCigar.com.
Yeah, the black peppery notes kind of popping a little bit more. Still a lot of leather and earth.
Yeah.
And I have not been drinking the root beer at all. I've been drinking on the bourbon more, and I can tell you right now that sassafras note is in there.
Yeah.
Not like a sweet sassafras,
No,
more
no.
of the dry root.
Well, I remember it because there was one summer we got buddies with an Amish farmer, and my father was like, "Do you ever get like sassafras root? Like, could you dig it up?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you some." Like the next week, he came by our house and brought it, and we made sassafras tea, and it was
Love it.
delicious.
We used to do that. My in-laws, they live in northwestern Arkansas, and every time we'd go out and visit them, they had all these sassafras trees. We'd go out there and dig up some roots and cut them up and bring them back with us.
Yeah.
And we still have some. It's funny. We've got some that we've had probably for 20 plus years.
Wow.
And you can still throw them in a water and boil them, and they come out really nice. So
yeah.
they last for a long time. A little more work than just grabbing a root beer, but definitely different because obviously it's not carbonated and all that. But the flavor in it's very similar to a root beer.
Yeah.
Which is what the root is in root beer.
You're really sharing industry secrets right now.
I know.
Wow. We're going to get sued by A&W and Barks in today's episode. Rob's let the cat out of the bag.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Beer from the root.
Beer from the root.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. I am definitely enjoying this pairing with the root beer. I love the sweetness, especially with a cigar like this that is drier. Like, it doesn't have a lot of sweetness going on.
Scott Johnston. We love you, Scott. Maybe. Kinda. It's up for debate.
Sometimes, and then you text us about backgammon, and I don't even know how that game works. So
Yeah.
it's not the lottery. I don't know how to play it.
I forgot to even get in on the $1 billion lottery. Did anybody win?
I don't know. I don't actually gamble. So
Nah.
somebody, I think it was Taylor who was in here. He was like, "You're not even just gonna buy a ticket, like just for the chances." I was like, "Nah. I mean, honestly, I'd rather buy a pack of gum." Well, at least I get some enjoyment out of a pack of gum.
Tell you what, if I buy a ticket and I win, I'll give you a couple bucks.
Okay.
I'll buy you a bottle of like Sazerac rye or something.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was turning over all my bottles the other day because that's something you got to do when you got an extensive collection. You got to make sure the corks are still wet and not getting to not all dried up and letting air in there. And I found 3 bottles of Sazerac rye that are half opened, like half drank, and I was like, "What the heck? Are people giving me this stuff?" Like, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah. I can't find my other one. Let me crack it open and see if this one's good." I don't know. But I keep finding it, and I don't like it really any of the time. I have made Sazeracs with it, and it is not the best for a Sazerac. It's just not
No.
spicy enough for a Sazerac.
No, I'll tell you, the Sazeracs we make here, we use the High West Double Rye, and it makes them absolutely perfect.
Absolutely.
It's the best rye I put into a Sazerac yet.
Well, and I made one with the Stellum rye, and that's a high proof rye.
It's pretty good,
And
too.
that's
I liked it.
good. It's not as spicy as the High West Double Rye, though.
Right. And that spice plays nice with the absinthe.
Definitely.
But I
does.
will say, I mean, a Sazerac tastes good with bourbon if you're wanting something a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
I've done that before, too. Actually, when we first started it, it was a bourbon we were using.
and if
then
you would
with the
like
rye.
a high dollar Sazerac, just use barrel seagrass.
Oh,
That would probably be really good.
that we probably ought to do that next, just for fun, when we get done here.
Okay.
By the way, another shout out,
Who's
Alan Hill.
Oh yeah, Alan, you're the freaking man.
He is, man. I'll tell you, my wife absolutely loves Balcones, Texas distillery, and her one of her favorites on our bar right now is just the Balcones, bourbon. And well, I guess is it considered bourbon, or is it just a?
It's a Texas whiskey.
Yeah. It's super good. But she fell in love out at the Indiana Bourbon Club event with their True Blue,
Yeah.
which is a cask strength blue corn whiskey.
Yeah.
And Alan come in here and he brought in, I think it was like 6 or 7 different Balcones bottles for
my
us to try.
gosh.
And she got to try them all, and then he ended up giving her over half a bottle of True Blue.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that is so awesome.
Alan
She loves it.
Alan is one of the kindest guys I've met in the bourbon, scene around here.
He really is.
And he really does, like, he lives by the whole, like, bourbon's meant to be shared thing. And I so greatly appreciate that, because there are so many guys in the bourbon scene that, like, have their bottles and they're going to hoard them to themselves because they want to finish it, and it was
Which,
hard to get.
honestly, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's who you are.
I get
you
it.
bought it.
But
that's not really
my
what this is
favorite
about.
thing, like, my first ever bourbon tasting was actually over at Alan's house.
Oh, really?
And he, like, everybody got sent home with an unopened bottle of something that,
Jeez.
yeah. And he was like, yeah, I found it on a great deal. He said, I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. Like, it's kind of how he is. He just loves sharing. And in that tasting, he brought out, like, the Glenmorangie Tail of Cake and a couple other, like, more expensive bottles. And he was like, oh, yeah, try it. He pulled out a Sam Houston 15, which is like a $150 bottle. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, try it. He said, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but hey, if you like it, like, I would way rather you try it here than have to go pay for it at a bar or buy a bottle that you don't like. Like,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. I love that.
And that's something, back to the Bourbon Club. Like I said, if you haven't joined it, just like the page. You'll find that with a lot of people in the Bourbon Club. Very, very, very giving, sharing.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing better than to have a meetup and everybody brings a bottle to share, and you get to try things that you may never buy.
Yeah.
Or you can't find. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that's where I had Stag Junior for the first time. Was on a share, and I'm like, this is one of my favorite bourbons of all time right now. And
Yeah.
now I've got a bottle and about that much left. So
Absolutely fantastic.
it is.
Yeah.
I definitely want to give him a shout out because Lisa is absolutely ecstatic on that. Eric Jansen's another one, another solid guy. He
I haven't seen him in a couple weeks.
yeah, he's finally he moved down to Shelbyville.
Oh, so now
So
he's too cool
moving
for
there.
us.
Well, he's been moving.
Yeah.
He moved his fiance over and all
That's
that
a
as
lot of
well.
work.
So yeah, but I think he's planning on coming back out this next week. But again, another great guy, loves to share. I mean, everything he shares, everything. I mean, he's just a solid dude.
Yeah, and
You'll
that
find that in the club. There's so many solid people in that club. Cole's another one that does a amazing job sharing, and
absolutely.
Brandon. I mean, God, we can name a ton of people right now.
Yeah, and it is wonderful. There's a lot of, especially when you get into the Indiana clubs that are like for a specific part of town, that are the more wealthy parts of town. They're not like that. Like, it kind of is a good old boys bourbon
It really
club,
is.
and
It is.
bourbon's meant to be shared. Bourbon's meant to be enjoyed with others,
Mm-hmm.
and these guys live by it, and it's amazing.
Will, another one that
Will
crazy
Breeden.
share. Yeah, I mean I mean we could go on and on and on with people that have shared bottles with us. Jake, I mean how many guys have brought in stuff for us to try, and we give them samples to try, and it's so much fun, because like guys like Brandon, that guy's just been into bourbon since Christmas, and the guy's finding stuff that I've never seen on a shelf.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway,
I'm almost done with this stick, Rob.
Are you really? I still got.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into the final third. Not even into the final third yet.
Wow.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we haven't even talked about our Lux Row tasting.
No, so we did a Lux Row tasting last Sunday here, which is why there was no podcast last week. But that was fantastic. The guy, I forget his name. Do you remember? It was the local Lux Row rep. He actually just lives down the road, it sounded like.
Gosh, that's terrible. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Really awesome
either.
guy, though.
But he brought by some awesome bottles from all of the greater Lux Row brands, like the Ross and Squibb stuff. He brought by a Remus and a Rossville Union Rye, and he brought by.
And that Rossville Rye was actually a pretty special bottle. That was
cash strength 7-year.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, I keep thinking I need to find one of those, but I need to find some more money before I buy buy stuff.
Quit buying boxes of cigars.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that was a stellar tasting with the Indiana Bourbon Club. It was just a private event hosted here, and it's awesome. And the fun thing about it was I saw a lot of guys that weren't smoking cigars, and they hung out.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, I always worry about that here, because when we do events here, everybody will go grab a cigar before the tasting, and I always worry that somebody's going to be like, oh, I can't properly taste my my bourbon now. But
with a tasting, it's not as big of a deal because you're not actually picking a barrel. You're just tasting for your enjoyment. So it is what it is. I mean, it is awesome to be able to pair anything with a cigar. So that's nice. But if you're on a barrel pick, you probably don't want to be smoking cigars.
No, absolutely not. No, But even on those tastings, I'll grab cigars that I'm very familiar with, so I can have a general baseline.
Mm-hmm.
Like for that one, I think I smoked the Laranja Reserva.
Yeah.
The Corona, actually, which is fantastic.
Stellar.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh, it's great.
Yeah. I think I was smoking the Aladino Cameroon just because it's a milder cigar.
Yeah, you've never smoked those before, though, so you wouldn't even know.
It was like a first time, I think.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
I think you smoke a box of those a week.
Nah, not quite. I do smoke probably at least one a day.
Okay.
At least.
So almost a box every 2 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, absolutely stellar. So on that cigar, the pepper ramped up in that final third. Still a lot of leathery earthiness for me. And that like dry sassafras was present there.
Yeah, that pepper kicked up quite a bit. Actually, I'm getting a little bit of red pepper now.
Yeah.
Which I'm just getting into the final third now too. So
Yeah. Somehow I beat you
You did.
by a long shot.
You were talking more than me, I guess. Or I was talking more than you. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Shut your
well,
mouth.
I know. Well, you have anything else?
I don't really think so. Really, we wanted to highlight root beer this week because of that sassafras note, but also there are sodas that are fantastic for you to pair. Cream soda and root beer will work with almost everything.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper does too. I would stay
Even a regular Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
The darker. Usually it's the darker ones or like the cream soda.
Yeah,
notes.
I really would stay away from like ginger beers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and,
they might taste good with it, but they're not going to really pair.
No, I mean, and most of these sodas are a good baseline. Like the root beer today I don't think it interacted with the flavors as much as most alcohols that we do.
Right.
But the sweetness in there is very nice, and it is a general baseline to smoke with.
Yeah.
And I think it's great for that.
One, it's a nice little break from just doing pairings with alcohol. you know.
That being said, we still ended up drinking in this one.
It's all good.
I'm not complaining.
No, that's not the last drink we're probably gonna have by the time you leave here.
No,
So,
I got another one in me.
I know.
Or
I
two.
know, I know. No VBS tonight, so it's all good.
Oh, I got tonight.
I really enjoyed this pairing. Like he was saying that what I do find is I feel like root beer is very sweet anyway.
Yeah.
With the pairing, it just brings down the sweetness.
Yeah.
You get the flavors and you kind of balance them out. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be anything that like the Mil Diaz and the cream soda we were getting. Coconut cream pie.
That was a fantastic pairing.
That was totally opposite.
This one is just us like highlighting the goodness there.
Yeah, and I mean, you're looking at this pairing. You're looking at about $13.50 probably for the pairing. $14 maybe for the pairing.
I think this week, like we've done, like we did with the cream soda, if you buy the cigar, we'll throw you a Coke or
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
you a root beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be about the same either way. You're gonna get 10% off or just get a free soda, whatever. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. But
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it'll be a good pairing. Come in and try it. We'll have it up for the whole week, and
absolutely.
we'll come up with something special hopefully next week too.
Absolutely.
So again, I'm Rob here at Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge. You can follow us on Instagram at Final Third Cigar. Facebook, it's the page is the Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge. Website's finalthirdcigar.com. You can, if you're in our system here, we'll also be sending out emails of events coming up, new cigars, new drinks, whatever, weekly or bi-weekly, whatever that comes out to be. We'll try to put it out there so you know what's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm Isaiah. You can follow me at the Whiskey Pastor on Instagram.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for listening, guys, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.